and welcome everyone to the Wanna Race knockout stages. I'm pretty sure that this is still quarterfinals. I don't know if we've progressed any further, but I'm your host Willie Fetty, and joined with me today the beautiful lad, the mad lad, Chuck Nicey.
Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. And yes, this is, I believe, our last match of the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to semis.
Yep, it has been a wild ride. A lot of stuff has happened over the past couple days. We'll probably get into later whenever we talk about stats. But today we have a great match from you for you guys. My hero Zoe versus honestly the sniper Spyron. We have old versus new. Both of them running on emulator. Both of them having great times. Honestly, why don't you go ahead and talk about Zoe?
Zoe is one of our veterans in the community, still sporting a fairly solid time, despite some of the advancements of some of our top runners, getting, 8 categories, all in PlayStation, getting a pretty solid race time of 34:58. That's honestly, I want to say, right near the middle of where our talent lies for this entire tournament. No world records, not a big deal about that. Favorite level, Spidey versus Monster Rock. For those not familiar, that might be a meme pick, given the fact that Zoe is one of the only 2 people, or four that we've seen that has managed to fall through the geometry of Monster Rock, and has lived a tale to tale.
Yeah, and honestly, his race time of a 34:58 is not too far off of his his time on the leaderboards of a 33:27. So I mean, he's a consistent runner. He was practicing very hard on his stream earlier today, playing Lord of the Rings. So he was practicing for the tournament real hard. But he's seed number 8 going up against seed number 2. It is he is the underdog here. But the 8 out of 8 categories ran the experience of the runner, right? Like, I'm sure that that's going to come into play with the backup strats and everything like that.
Indeed, and I mean, he's been around for a while. He's gotten to see all this talent come in and all these new skips being added, and because of his discipline and experience with the game, he is steadily picking up those new tricks as they come in. So that probably speaks to a bit of that consistency that he's gained with this category.
Right. And Chad's saying that I'm gonna jinx Spyron on purpose. That is not what's gonna happen at all. When we're talking about the big dog Spyron, his best race time is a 30:49. He's seed number 2 for a reason. There's only one person ahead of him that we'll probably end up talking about here in a day or two. He's ran 10 categories, total 7 of them PlayStation. Is holding 6 world records right now. And his favorite level is Tunnel Crawl. The main thing is that he did just indeed, I did bop a world record, and 2 world records, he ended up bopping them right back, dude taking no prisoners and wanting to stay on top for a reason. He is the favorite to win. His favorite level is Tunnel Crawl. A lot of great skips, a lot of, great strides to make that as fast and fun of a level as possible. Wow, my tongue got tied. But, honestly, Spyron is the favorite to win, but I would love to see an upset here.
No, absolutely. I mean, we almost saw that yesterday or the day before with Sodalier and Monch. Sodalier banging his head against the wall in Symbiotes Infest, and for at least a little while, Monch pulling ahead. Maybe we can see a similar upset here between Spyron and
Honestly, we need to start seeing some cracks because, everybody's just starting to look better and better as this tournament goes on, as they should, just because the practice of the races and everything like that. Right now we're looking at both competitors. They're looking nice. Zoe showing love, Spyron being Spyron. That's all I gotta say about that. But I'm glad that they are ready. And just double checking, making sure. Yep, both of them are ready. So I'm gonna start counting them down here if everybody's ready for that.
Fantastic.
So, let's go.
So go ahead and count.
3, 2, 1. Go.
And we're off to the races here. Spyron keeping a close eye on the setup channel, getting uh that first start off. It's
Right.
not gonna matter too much. It all comes down to the timers, really.
That's true. That's true. We got Zoe rocking the classic Ben Riley. Shout out to that, my hero, and Spyron going with the old natural. This is going to be the first major deviation here. Is you're going to see that Zoe is going to go for the safer route, while Spyron, honestly, Spyron, and Soda, we don't care. We're going to go for the more difficult route, and that's a 32 to bank, and Zoe trailing behind at a 35.
That's still faster than a lot of times you'll see from our newer runners on Get to the Bank. So don't scoff at that time just yet. It's going to be very important to understand that Zoe has a lot of solid techniques and solid discipline when it comes to this game that's going to make him a fierce competitor, especially if Spyron trips up somewhere along the line.
And there's always a chance of that happening too. And Spyron entering in hostage situation. Hostage situation has been honestly a silent killer for a lot of people during these runs.
They don't mind if I make a quick
No,
deposit.
no kidding. I mean, it's tripped me up in just about every race I've competed in, at least, and we've seen some wild hostage situations from most of our runners in this tournament so far. It has been absolutely nutty.
And they're both through and both looking nice as Spyron missed a hostage. I have no idea where he missed that. Oh, yep, there he goes. All right,
there
cool.
we go.
Wow, and that just honestly put us back almost at a tie, if not at a tie.
Right.
We were just talking about hostage situation being a killer for some people, and it turns out, hey, look at that.
Now, if this were not a race format, we absolutely would have seen a reset at that point. If we were going for PB attempts. But we can't do that here in a race format. These players have to understand and have to be able to think on the fly, adjust their strategies, make sure that they can fix their mistakes if they pop up. Like poor Spyron here getting beaten up by some of the
I mean, honestly, Zoe's in the lead right now. I mean, Zoe had a perfect clip through the door. Spyron was having trouble with everything like that. I honestly think that pressure's probably starting to build to everybody. Yeah, Zoe with the good bombs. If you have the good bomb emotes, go ahead and spam them. They both have they both have good bombs, and they're honestly, because Zoe started a little late, Zoe is about a second or two ahead, but we'll keep that currently a tie because you know how that is.
And one thing I think Zoe can take with him, at least one thing Zoe can take with him with this race, he had a better bomb time.
Yep.
By 1 second. Spyron has fallen prey to the 1 second difference in a couple of cases outside of this tournament. So I think that this will be probably a good motivator for him to get a rematch against Zoe, even if it's not in the tournament, to just absolutely swipe it back if need be.
I mean, honestly, the best thing you can say is like, hey, dude, on the first 3 levels, I beat you. You know what I mean? And we were talking about seeing chips in the armor. Oh, that was very close from Zoe. Zoe thought he had the height there, did not, but is still keeping on pace with Spyron as Spyron's entering into Scorpion. But, we can say this, is that we are starting to see the cracks in the big dog's armors. Like, which I never thought I'd see, because they run this a lot, so I didn't think I'd see it, but we are starting to see cracks. Oh wow, no web domes from Spyron, trying to give Scorpion a hug, and
Scorpion
that
was
means
not taking a hug,
and that means Zoe getting the one. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now, though. The OG coming through.
Spyron tried to swag, but it was not happening. And so we get a few wasted bits of web cartridge here for a second phase of Scorpion. That is heartbreaking to see. But there's still plenty of chance for Spyron to catch up. Don't you worry.
That's true. But, I mean, look, dude, I don't know if it's the nerves, if it's the pressure, if it's the fact that he can hear the commentary right now. I don't know what it is. But Spyron is literally, like, you're starting to see those little cracks in the shells, right? Like, and honestly, if Zoe keeps running how he is running with his PBs that he's gotten recently, like we could see an upset, which would be crazy.
Yes, I don't think that this race is going to end up too far apart in either case. I truly believe we're going to see a fairly close race between these two.
That's
It,
very true. Very true. I agree. I couldn't agree more. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you were spitting facts.
and as far as the commentary psyching goes, hey Spyron, I'm good. But and the fact that we don't get much reaction at all is probably all we need to know about how much he's actually paying attention to commentary. So, we are, I think we're golden on that. Zoe, managing to get past missile attack, quicker. In this case, still staying ahead. Spyron right on his tail.
Yeah,
So,
Spyron employing some of those soda tricks that only save about like 0.5 seconds, but it seems to be working out for him. As we see Zoe go to some like these swings look tricky or like these swings don't look that tricky, but they're actually very tricky to keep height and stay around those girders.
indeed, it's important to remember two things. I mean, one is that this game works on basically tank controls, for one. The other thing is, where Spider-Man decides to swing can be extremely finicky. Spider-Man's biggest villain in this game is himself at times.
I mean, I'm sure that that's Spider-Man's villain all the time is himself and his bad luck. But we see Zoe with a clean chase to as Spyron coming in as well, catching right back up. We are basically neck and neck if it wasn't for the seconds difference of Zoe starting a little bit later. So the question is are we going to see the spider fly from Spyron? Because Zoe is going traditional.
Right now, if Spyron wants to pull ahead, he's going to need that spider fly. And even then, at this point, Zoe, that would probably just put him neck and neck.
Oh, and Spyron with the
And
spider fly, getting done with the level a little bit early as Zoe is finishing up as well. So we are back to just neck and neck. This is
Right.
this is a crazy race.
Looks like my job is going to be pretty easy. We can keep this currently a tie portion here stuck on the screen, at least for a little while longer.
These guys won't let up.
Right, we just need to pay attention to like the actual times of when everything leaves. And honestly, Zoe has been struggling with that in the past, that little swing around the girders, but looks like he got it perfectly. And now we're both nearing the end of this level. And as I completely jinxed that, I guess, I was talking about the girders, not these girders, but yeah, no. So we're coming into Rhino. Everybody knows that it's like either combo or glitch inside Rhino by this point. If you don't, you'll see what we're talking about here soon. But what are you thinking of the race? What are the thoughts so far?
Well, I mean, what we just saw there with poor Zoe is a classic example of, you know, the limited possible ways that you can swing to something. Poor Zoe, it seems like Spider-Man would just swing straight ahead, but the point that Spider-Man was facing caused the the mechanics of the game to force Zoe downwards instead, forcing him to lose a bunch of time and putting Spyron. I think now I have to do my job.
He's ahead.
Yeah, he's now currently in the lead.
And
but
Zoe
still had a
mad at
pretty
Rhino.
solid Rhino.
Zoe mad at Rhino. He's gotten punched in the face. Spyron had a perfect Rhino. It's just unfortunately Rhino can be a little bit of a buzzkill. So
Indeed, each of these boss fights have their own little quirk that can make them the most annoying thing to deal with in the moment. I mean, Scorpion, we got the second phase. If you're not quick enough, Rhino being
just
mean
punch worthy. Just punch worthy.
Absolutely. First Venom, both Venom fights can
we're
be
going to
real
see it
rough.
early from Spyron. Let's see if he. Yep. All right. Venom is jumping with him. He waited for a little bit. Sorry, I had to call that out.
No, that's perfectly fine, because that is one that some of these faster runners can miss. If they are too fast, they can soft lock the level. Venom could stay right there on that back building with those girders if you are too fast getting into the cutscene, and that can really trip up some of our fastest runners here. Now let's take a look for that early signs of cutscene skip, and it looks like he does not have cutscene skip on his save file.
And let's see if Zoe breaks the treaty once again. as we're coming in. But whenever he rounds this building, we'll be able to see if he broke the treaty once again. We do have handshakes around for it. So
Indeed. Zoe, noted war criminal of the Spider-Man community. Uh,
Zoe is wanted for war crimes, but it does not look like he has cutscene skip. So that is good.
we can remove 1 count of war crimes away from his record. Luckily, Spyron finishing up the Venom chase level here, getting a very early ending, being able to just hop off the building before Venom can finish his voice lines. Zoe slightly behind, but still notably so.
We're getting a little bit of loss of hype from Zoe,
Ooh,
almost dying
indeed.
there, but
And
we
Zoe is sad
love to
about
see the
that.
clutch. We love to see the clutch. It's better than dying.
Yeah, dying is always slower than just about anything else you can do in this game. That's for sure. Let's see.
Yeah, like I said, the cracks are starting to show. Spyron is a little, Spyron's picking it back up though, and Zoe is taking full advantage. They are basically a level apart now. Like Zoe's taking full advantage of the cracks, and we're starting to see just how fundamental play beats fast play sometimes.
Indeed, Spyron has been practicing some of these pipe levels here just before we got started. I wonder if that's going to translate to smooth work on his part, or if that overfamiliarity is going to breed a little bit of contempt and cause him to lose himself.
That was a beautiful zip, and I saw what he was trying to go for. He completely abandoned it the minute that he hit the side of the pipe. But yeah, no, that's where a lot of that stuff comes in. That's basically we're talking saving maybe like 3 seconds. Like we're talking minuscule seconds, right? So like he is trying his best to just gain as much of a lead as possible on Zoe.
Indeed, and I mean, they can be these small time gains, but I'm sure a lot of these top runners will tell you, fast is fast. That even if it's 0.5 or 5 minutes, fast is fast, and if you can do it, it's worth it. Now let's see Spyron go in for these God pipes. Spam those God pipe emotes in chat.
That's true. That's true.
Let's see
And we're seeing him skip the last. Yep, there it is.
There
and
it
that
is.
was a perfect God pipes. And you keep calling it. What do you keep calling it? Whenever someone doesn't hit the pipe, what are you calling it?
I call it devil pipes.
Yeah, no, it's atheist pipes. If you hit one of them, they're atheist pipes. That was the thing.
Then I should
they're only devil pipes if you die.
Fair enough. No, I like that. Thank you very much. Now let's see. Does Spyron have a bit whenever the lizards show up? We'll see here in a second. But Zoe getting the demigod pipes, it looks like.
Yeah, getting the atheist pipes right there, and we are seeing that. Them both going in a train around the same time. I don't know if they do have any gimmicks, but
there it is.
See.
there's the video editor prowess of Spyron flipping things around. The way the way his face set, it's almost like his eyebrows were just alternating which one was cocked up.
Well, what are we reading?
What is that? I'm trying to read it. It's
He's gonna have to hold it up closer to the camera. We're both blind.
Oh, Monkey Island.
Oh, Monkey Island
strategy guide. Very nice.
Honestly, you should start speedrunning Monkey Island. Taking like 14, 15 hours to do that.
I can't imagine people that can speedrun point-and-click adventure games like that. That just seems like so much time invested to just watch cutscenes.
And we got Zoe dancing on. We got Zoe dancing on the right here.
Loving it. He's vibing. He's having a good time himself.
Looks like he went for hug the homies. You think it's maybe because he's been having a trouble with the inside the homies glitch, or?
That could be the case. Either way, now that he's resorting to hugging the homies, I have to be very nervous about his ability to stay on the train. We've seen this with Jesse, and we've seen it with me. When you get to hugging the homies, your chances of falling through the train increase just that much because you're getting pushed back ever so slightly with each hug.
And chat's telling me not to encourage him to run Monkey Island. Trust me, I'm not encouraging that. That run is insane. So trust me, I am not encouraging a Monkey Island run. So I would like, honestly though, it looks like we have a good old early go from Spyron. Let's see how that is going to work out for him.
And it looks like Zoe had to restock the chamber on a homie to hug because he popped up on his shoulders and started punching him. Just a brief hug, and then finally getting ready to clear out the lizards on this level.
And a good frame perfect train for Spyron will you know, send him straight into sewer entrance, which honestly has been another silent killer for runners, has been sewer entrance, with the lizards just being completely just buttholes and walking right up to you and giving you some spits while you're trying to just zip through perfectly. Oh, but he gets the perfect zip. Let's go.
Look at that reverse commentator's curse you pulled right there.
It's called being able to say the right things at the right time, as Zoe gets a frame perfect as well. And we are still neck and neck, but that was a crazy zip by Spyron.
We are still only a level apart, and we still have Tunnel Crawl coming up, which is going to be one of our first real big upsets if one of them messes up. That's for sure.
Yep, and hidden switches going about how hidden switches should be. Zoe is also coming up here. I'm sure he's going to go for the perfect swing. Tries it, but fails, and we have Spyron coming up to Tunnel Crawl. His favorite level, but also at the same time, a killer of runs. This is like a killer of actual runs every day. If I had the Sarah McLachlan in the arms of an angel, this is like where we would play it exactly, right? Like,
every day, a Spider-Man run dies to Tunnel Crawl. For just 10 cents a day, you can help prevent the Tunnel Crawl deaths plaguing so many runners. Please.
That is exactly what it is. Yep. That is exactly what I was going for. I'm glad you got the joke, but yeah, no. And we're gonna see a flying spider attempt from Spyron. I don't know if he's been practicing or not, but we shall see. And it looks like he is. We have liftoff, chat. Cue the DuckTales moon theme, and perfect.
Fantastic.
That's what we're talking about.
He doesn't get stuck in that little hallway like we've seen some runners do when they try the flying spider skip. Zoe is having a bit of trouble.
Also needed was one small zip, and then these zips in the middle right here. But it looks like he's gonna have to wait for two just to be safe. We have Spyron hitting Fetty Fall right here and still being able to hit it perfect. I don't understand how people can do that, and you know, with complete confidence how Spyron can. It is, yeah. Yeah, Monch in chat saying only you can stop tunnel crawl abuse. That's Zoe needed the 12 digits on your credit card and the expiration date to make that, and unfortunately we didn't get that. So
no, indeed not. And Spyron showing off a bit about why Lizard Maze might have also been a close contender for favorite level. The fact that he's able to get those zips across the ceiling so well is absolutely mind-boggling, even though it's something a lot of runners still can't quite nail down consistently. Something about the magic Spyron had.
DuckTales moon theme for Zoe. DuckTales moon theme for Zoe.
Very nice. That is, I believe, the first spider fly we've seen from Zoe, if I'm right. I did not think he was going to go for it in this race. That is fantastic.
All I know is that you know, talking about maze or talking about puzzle, talking about maze, talking about everything like that. Did you know that Spyron couldn't figure out this puzzle that Zoe was on as a kid? Just a fun fact.
I think I heard that one. I think I heard that one.
Even though the cutscene shows you what two buttons to press, he still couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? These game designers need to do a better job of teaching their players how to play. But looks like Spyron gets a semi-perfect Venom fight there, making sure to get him in those 3 stages as usual. Zoe moving on to the Lizard's Maze, narrowly avoiding the Crushers in that first round. But you can see that it's difficult to crawl across the ceiling. Byron trying for the Symbiotes Infest.
There we go, and look at him. Now let's see if he'll actually take the advice and listen to the trigger unlike Mach. And yes, he does. While Zoe gets a perfect clipped out of bounds for Maze and is honestly on his way, is trucking. And may look like even though Spyron is like, 3 levels ahead or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it
Mhm.
may I will say this, Spyron just getting bullied by symbiotes. This is where the skips come in handy. You know what I mean? Like this is where the game starts to look really quick. It's because the skips start to hit right here. So we're
Indeed. Now,
just oh, what's up? My bad.
I was going to say Spyron did miss the elevator descent skip the first time, the first attempt through. That's going to give Zoe just that little bit of edge he needs to help catch up.
And looks like we get 1 perfect spawn from Venom. Chat, if you got Count Dracula with you, go ahead and count for me. That's 2 perfect Venom spawns.
And
And
looks like
hey,
we get
look,
a semi-perfect fight once more. And we
it's
get a grapple from Venom. That is a little less than semi-perfect right there.
we didn't comment on it, but Spyron did go for the new stop the presses skips and actually nailed it really well. Zoe needs to shoot web balls here. I don't know what's going on, but
Not everyone goes for that strategy. I know I don't. In this case, usually it's a matter of waiting for Venom to cross over the line, but that's proving to be a bad choice. And he misses that perfect spawn, but manages to get in just in time for the hit. Byron getting that basement skip just fine, looking really good and heading into Mysterio.
I know Zoe is upset. You can tell it on the camera. Like he's talking like Stone Cold talking to somebody he just stunnered. Like you can tell that Zoe is upset about that. But Venom 2 taketh, Venom 2 taketh away. Or you give it and take it away. So
That big son of a gun, Venom, trying
yeah.
to mess me up. Just
I got
Spyron
1
going,
spawn. What? 2 spawns. What?
What? 3 spawns. What?
And Spyron with a great Mysterio as Zoe is struggling to get out of bounds on Symbiotes and Fest Bugle. We are going to see a no skip here, but that is just to save the run, honestly, for time-wise, because Zoe is actually running really well. I do indeed have that comic for anyone who wanted to make that joke. But Spyron going into Warehouse, also a silent run killer for people as well. Honestly, it's really one of those things of a lot of people are doing a lot of guesswork now on where the exact trigger is for Warehouse.
Indeed, we've narrowed it down quite a bit to a particular like sort of square, but since you're jumping into a black void, you can't really see where that square is. You just have to feel your way to it, so to speak.
Zoe with a perfect out of bounds on elevator. He said, "No struggle for me." He said, "I'm still in this. Don't count me out." As Spyron is going through lasers right now. The best we can hope for is that the cutscene skip breaks Spyron's game at this point. But I will say that Zoe is putting up one heck of a fight right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't count Zoe out yet. He is no spring chicken when it comes to the speedrunning scene for Spider-Man. He is still putting in some fantastic work, getting in the skips that he is comfortable with, getting them pretty well, and rocking with those shortcomings on the fly. And look at that beautiful stop the presses skip, done just fine.
I mean, honestly, like I have not seen a better stop the presses skip just ever. You know what I mean? That was the stop the presses skip of the stop the presses skips. But we're seeing Zoe line up for basement as Spyron comes right into stopping the fog. Yep, we got a good wall through, and Zoe with the jump around like me, and here we go. Let's see if he gets it, and he did. So there is a basement skip going as Spyron is hitting the cutscene skips for this at the moment. So we have stopping the fog done from Spyron. Zoe hitting a perfect basement skip right on into Mysteria.
That basement skip was a little bit scary. It looked like he got a little bit of coyote time walking over the edge before getting the jump out. I thought for sure he was just gonna fall straight down into the void, but no, he's too good for that. Next up,
Ooh,
he's
that
gonna
was a
look at
good shot
Mysterio.
that was a good falling shot right there. Actually probably saved him a little bit. And he's going into the final phase of Mysterio while Spyron is going into the first phase of Doc Ock. are we going to see? Are we going to see a one cycle from Spyron, or will he choke it? I don't think I've seen Spyron choke it that like ever. You know what I mean? Well, I've seen him choke it like a couple times, but he's very consistent, and I don't understand how those web balls are not hitting Mysterio.
I mean, the targeting on that is very generous, but I just think Zoe was just angled at a pretty bad angle to hit that dome.
Definitely, like yeah, and I agree with Chad on this one. Mysterio's hitbox is a lie most of the time, so
He is the master of illusion. Maybe he's misdirecting us on his hitbox.
all right, so we have Zoe, someone to keep an eye on, going into basement skip right now. And we have one cycle incoming from Spyron. Oh, he dropped his inputs. Uh-oh! And that is a fumble. But I will say this, that he does have some time, as Zoe does need to catch up 3 levels. But it looks like Zoe's a little bit to the right, but still probably lined up for warehouse here. And yep,
He's got it.
He's there. He's through it.
He's got it. I think our chat has jinxed Spyron.
Yeah, chat saying he's on pace.
On world record pace, and all of a sudden misses that 2 cycle or misses that 1 cycle lock, and there it is. But I think Spyron is still fairly comfortably in the lead at this point. You know, it's not too soon to say who's going to win this, but I think Spyron has a pretty good chance to eke out this win, which is honestly not too unexpected for one of our top runners in the community.
I mean, look, hey, the fact that Zoe is able to keep it this close, barring anything crazy. Oh yeah, that laser sucked. I could tell. I do the same thing. But
those are some lasers.
Barring any kind of mishaps, like falling through the level on Monster Hog, like the game just breaking, barring anything like that, Spyron is probably comfortably sitting there. But Zoe keeping it this close for this long, and you know, honestly, only being 2 levels out, like, is kind of a testament to show you that Zoe has even gotten better himself. You know, he may have been practicing on Lord of the Rings earlier, but those skills seem to have translated over to this pretty well.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't say for certain where he is as far as pace, but I think he's making some pretty good pace despite everything else going on. I'm checking the leaderboards right now where he sits. His PB is a 33.27, so I wonder how he's going to match up in this race itself. He's setting up for the stop.
He would try to go for all 3, but that's fine. He got the 2. There we go. And so he's entering Doc Ock as we see Spyron going through Monster Ock right here, getting stuck PS1 controls on the wall. But you know, that's how it goes sometimes, I guess.
Now is Zoe's chance to transfer his energies over to Spyron.
Yep.
Make him fall through the floor.
Yeah, we need the 5th person to fall through the floor. It needs to be Spyron. That's what it needs to happen. If Zoe could send any type of energy, it needs to be that right now.
Absolutely. And the earlier on, the better for Spyron. He could be the one who gets the world record in quickest Monster Ock fall. He can absolutely get that if he wants to.
Man. But yeah, no, I know Zoe's, he was picking up extra cartridges. I know he's definitely setting up for 1 cycle. We're going to see that here soon. And honestly, I'm just enthralled by Spyron sticking to so many walls of Monster Rock. I don't think I've seen him stick to this many, like, ever. Dude's pressure really got to him, for real.
Indeed. Now, it's not too scary to get stuck on the walls whenever you're in Monster Rock for easy, especially in any percent. But if this were a comics race or something like that, getting stuck to those walls can be really nerve-wracking whenever you're trying to take time out of your chase to go pick up a comic.
Definitely. And it looks like Zoe may be a little bit late on it. Yep, dropping combos. It happens. Listen, Zoe, it happens. It happens to me all the time. Trust. I know how it feels.
I was gonna say, don't blame the controller. That input lag is built into the game. Ooh.
It's built in the. I feel like they built the input lag in there just so you couldn't do things like that. But we are seeing Spire near the end or near the end here. Gonna come in with another 29, so a 29-42 for that man. Mama, there goes that man.
Absolutely wonderful work from Sparring once again. Is that the first sub 30 of the tournament?
It is the first
Fantastic.
sub 30 of the tournament, and it is the best time in the tournament so far. But that just shows you how much he respects Zoe for that to happen. Like how much of respect he has towards Zoe for him to be able to to try to even pull that out without goofing off or anything like that.
No, absolutely. All of our runners have been gracious enough to not waste anybody's time when it comes to running. So, nobody's pulling off any sort of cheeky nonsense. Nobody's deliberately wasting time out of, self-loathing or pity or anything like that, as you might see in more toxic communities. We are just seeing two runners doing their best to reach the end and having a good, clean race.
Yeah, I mean, then that's all that matters, right? Yep, and Zoe
Hey,
doing
he's
my
got it too.
Zoe doing my stand on top of the generator strat. But yeah, no, honestly, for Zoe, I'm not gonna say anything until we get to the end of it. But I will say this: that Zoe is probably in his brain right now, stressing out.
Yep, he is probably doing a lot of internal and external screaming that we cannot hear either of. So let's see how Monster Rock goes. I'm not going to say anything about how Monster Rock could go, but I'm just going to wish him the best of luck.
Hey, listen, you're already doing it. We already said we weren't gonna do it. Let's not do it. Let's just sit back and talk about how great this race was.
Indeed, and it looks like Betty, with the time that he has now that he's pulled through, has declared himself the winner, rightfully so. That's perfectly fine. Uh, congrats to Spyrim for that win. And
Yeah.
I'm just, again, great race. Really close stuff. With everything that happened in this race, the fact that it came this close between these two is really a testament to both of their skills. Spyrim for getting the first sub 30 of the race, and Zoe for keeping a pretty good pace with Spyrim, for sure.
Just keeping up in general. Like Zoe put on a show tonight for real. I mean, like there's a lot of things that Zoe decided to pull out, like spider flies and everything like that. That we honestly I haven't seen Zoe practice. He must be practicing in his off time, like whenever he's not on stream.
Either that or Lord of the Rings is really inspiring him lately.
That's true. The Lord of the Rings spider flies are crazy. Like the spider flies you hit in Lord of the Rings are crazy. But no, just honestly, like Spyron's run was great too. I mean, there was a lot of mishaps here and there, like a little bit of the cracks that were starting to show. But the thing is you can't really say that whenever you're staring at it down the barrel of a 29-42, right? So without a one cycle. So you gotta look at those things and be like, yeah, no, like either way, this is why he's one of the greatest runners of all time.
No, absolutely. And I'm keeping a close eye on the clock. It's getting very close here. The wall, last hallway. And
he's 2 seconds off his PB.
That's got to be heartbreaking. But also, the fact that you do that in a race is fantastic.
I mean, honestly, yeah. He's 2 seconds off PB in a race.
Not to tell people how to feel, but be psyched. That is fantastic work. Now I think both of our runners are ready here in the Casters channel to talk about their thoughts. Gentlemen,
fellas,
fantastic work. Fantastic work on this race. I think you should both be very proud of your work here in this race. Let's start with just some initial thoughts. Zoe, what can you tell us about how you're feeling?
My controller cost me the 32. The lack of zips in tunnel crawl cost me a 31. I sat there spamming the buttons and I just could not zip for so long. And I was like, are you serious? And then I got to Doc Ock, and I dropped a bunch of inputs on Doc Ock, costing me the 1 cycle, which I didn't even know was possible on emulator. And it had happened to me. And then after Doc Ock, I'm like, well, I guess I'm not PBing. And then I was like, okay, it's possible. And then to realize that, and then to see 33:29, I'm like, there's no way I missed this by 1 second, because I thought my PB was a 28, and then it ended up being 2 seconds. And yeah, so I could have had a really, really good. Oh, and I didn't clip out of bounds on Symbiote's Infest Bugle. So I tried to pull that out, and then it just didn't work. So everything was going really well up until Tunnel Crawl, and then it like all fell apart.
Look,
Absolutely.
in terms of time, it may not look that you guys were close, but you guys were close the entire race. Like it was a level or two difference. Zoe, you even took the lead at 2 points in time. It's crazy to me that to even say that, but like the thing is you being 2 seconds off of a PB in a race environment, you should be very proud of yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm like
So
happy because I got my best race time by a lot, but also at the same time, I'm frustrated because it just shows how much more I'm capable of.
indeed, maybe next time we see you in your race, maybe we'll see that PB get pulled out. Who knows? But to bring it over, Spyron, same questions. What are some of your initial thoughts now that you have finished the race?
I'm good. We didn't get the 1 cycle because that was a 28 something. It wouldn't have been world record, I don't think. I think I was maybe, if I looked at my best possible time, I think we were still like 10 or something seconds off, or 20 seconds off still of a world record. But if I'd have got that 1 cycle, it could have been close. So I'm a bit sad about that. I don't know what happened there. Just he didn't pressing buttons. Didn't want to press buttons. Otherwise, yeah, I think the early game. Get to the bank. The whole bank situation was a bit of a scuff up, all the way up till Scorpion. Pretty much, actually, Scorpion was scuffed as well. I think after that, I kind of got into the flow of it. I think I had a very, very clean sewer, kind of sewer levels onwards, all the way up to then Symbiote's Infest Bugle. That was quite clean as well,
sure.
minus elevator descent, where I couldn't clip through blowing first time, which seemed to be having. I don't think I've hit that first time in a single race so far yet. So that is definitely my weakness at the minute. But otherwise, yeah, I can't believe this was a 29. That was like insane that we still managed to pull out a 29 after all that. So yeah, very, very happy.
Indeed, yours is the first sub 30 we've had in this entire tournament. You should be very
go.
proud of that for sure. For sure.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, I'm proud of both of y'all runners. You guys really made this a tight and good race. Pause, but yeah, a tight and good race. And honestly, the thing is that I don't think anyone expected A, the race to be this close, and B, just to start seeing that, like, everyone who's watched the races up until now, you could start to see the improvement from every runner. So congratulations on that. Zoe, I wanted to talk to you about pulling out the spider flies out of nowhere for Tunnel Crawl. Was it on a whim? Have you been practicing? Did Lord of the Rings help you out? Like, what happened?
So I pulled out Spiderfly after I think like my second or third seeding race. It came out. I pulled it out. I pulled it out my second seeding race, and it was something where I was like, it saves enough time where I really should start practicing it. And I was just like, I'll give it a shot, see what happens. Pulled that one out. It worked out a lot easier. I still have yet to consistently get the one for skill, the girders down. I don't really know what my problem is with that one. But I also haven't practiced it since I decided I wasn't going to worry about it. But I pretty much just like throughout this tournament was like, all right, I know I'm capable of doing a lot more if I just stop playing all these grandpa strats. So that's when I stopped going for kid mode elevator descent and started pulling out Spiderfly and other things like that, because I just knew that in order for me to be able to put up a good run in this tournament, I needed to update my strats. So that's really what my focus has been on. It hasn't even been doing runs. It's just been getting other strats down.
And I mean, hey, and it worked and it showed off today. You did show off. You did come in here like a big boy veteran and was like, yeah, no, hey, you should be afraid of me. And you could tell because I was about to talk to Spyron about it. You could see the cracks in some of your runs, Spyron. Was it because were you watching the stream and seeing Zoe? Was it putting the pressure on you, or what was going on there?
Not necessarily that there was the pressure. Obviously, the race itself environment is pressure because you're always just
See, I
like,
don't,
oh,
I don't scare Spyron at all. He
yeah.
knew he was winning no matter
No,
what.
no. That's not. That's definitely not what I'm saying. I think once especially because it was so early on, where instantly we got to the hostage situation, and I just didn't save the last hostages for whatever reason. That didn't work, and I thought, oh no, it's happening again. And I thought, oh no, we're gonna like start losing time. And then the bomb was because those mistakes happened so early on. I think it took a bit of a while to get into the groove of it, and so I'd say it's probably just the nerves initially of like getting started. Once I kind of got into that flow state, I guess if you like, it kind of came a bit more naturally then, and I felt like we flowed through quite well. But yeah, I think consistency is what I need to aim for now. I mean, I say consistency as if 29 is like not a big deal, but consistency, yeah, of just making sure everything is just as clean as possible. Especially if I want to win this whole thing, then I need to keep these 29s going. I think otherwise might be in trouble.
Yeah, especially because you got some tough matches coming up. Both of you actually
Mhm.
have some tough matches coming up. I mean, honestly, is there any final like before we start like reviewing the matches that are happening later on? Is there anything else that you guys want to just add to add to it? Like, was there any like if are you enjoying the tournament? Is there anybody that you're looking forward and hoping you get a rematch with? Like, is there any strats that you guys are planning to employ in the future? Give us a look at the future of, you two. We could start with Zoe.
So for me, this run proved what after I even have a post on Twitter about it where I got my 33-27 and I was like, if I never PB again, I think I could be very, very satisfied with that because way back years ago, I wanted to get a sub 35 and I got it. And so I was like, all right, cool. That means if I never PB again, I can be fine and I can be satisfied with what happened. And then the problem is that I learned so much, and this run proved that I'm capable of possibly even going down to a 30, if not a 29. And I hate that because it makes me want to keep playing this game. So as much as I was expecting on kind of putting this category down, like for good and like only really playing it for events and stuff, yeah, that's definitely not going to be happening. This run showed being 2 seconds off and having multiple moments where I lost 30 plus seconds. I can definitely see my time going down by multiple minutes still.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know if I'll probably take a break shortly after this tournament, but you definitely will not this won't be the end of what I will be doing in this category.
Well, welcome
Indeed.
back.
Welcome back, indeed. I gotta say, this tournament has done a fantastic job of lighting the fire in a lot of our community's hearts to keep improving, to keep finding new stuff, to keep learning new stuff. Even for those that seem like they are absolutely done with this game, or at least seemed like they were absolutely done with this game. You got some of those folks that see this going on and they go, "Why can't I quit you?" you know. So it is honestly really awesome to see so much of this community getting so excited about this game again.
That's very true. And Spyron, what's next for you, my man?
Yeah, I guess closing thoughts from me, obviously, as I kind of on the back of all that we've just said, shout out to Crypto who organised this tournament, of course, again,
Yeah,
because we
shout out
wouldn't
to
be here
Crypto.
without
As
that,
we always should.
as we always should, indeed. Yeah, this is loads of fun, and I think this is, obviously, as one of the, like, I guess, top runners of this game, this is really kind of nailed into me that I want to try and expand now to more categories. I feel like these categories, like this, any percent, no skips, obviously, we've pretty solid on those. I need to pick up some more stuff. I need to do some more comics runs. I need to eventually build up to do like 100% runs and stuff like that. So this is just, I guess, not necessarily lit the fire for just this category alone, but I'm like, right, let's go and try and tackle some other stuff and add a new challenge to the board and stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to keep going with the tournament. I want to obviously get back to, I think Fetty, you and me are up next, I'm pretty sure. So I've got to
Yep.
take on you. And then we've got to get that rematch with Sotalia. I've got to come back and try and bop Sotalia again as well in the race. yeah, it's going to be a hard route now, like going forward. I mean, this was the first step of the kind of the hard route now. So, yeah, we're in hopefully for some good races coming up. I think for sure.
And
Indeed.
speaking of races coming up, if you want to go ahead and do we have a slide yet for races coming up or no?
I can pull it up actually. Dead
Dude,
quick.
why
Give me
haven't
2
you?
seconds.
I've been
Listen.
since the beginning of the tournament. I've been like, hey, make a slide for races coming up, and you're just like, yeah, I got you. Haven't made the race. I haven't made the slide yet.
But while we're waiting for that, Zoe, I do want to say thanks to this time you put into this race today, I am infinitely more afraid to face up against you in this coming race, because that is the next one for both of us, is a nice little rematch between the two of us.
Round
Since,
one rematch.
right, since Felicia's decided to drop out of the tournament, which is perfectly fine. Uh, we have you and I going against each other once again, and the fact that you have a solid, what is it, 2 minutes, just about 2 minutes ahead of me, I need to put in the work to match that up as best as I can, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that one goes.
Me too.
Eh,
I mean, both of us have gotten our times down by quite a bit since this tournament has started. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how this next one will go between us. I think it'll be pretty different than round one, which I am very excited for.
Indeed.
And
And
how are you feeling about your next race, Byron?
Yeah, nervous again. Yeah, obviously we both got, I think, something to prove, which is exciting. It makes it a bit more interesting, of course. And yeah, I just need to, I need to prove that not only am I good in reset situations where obviously reset as much as I want to and run that way. I need to prove that these race times, these low race times, I can be consistent with those as well. So that's my aim.
Hey, you couldn't have said it better myself. So, but yeah, if y'all are, if anyone in chat right now or who is watching is wondering about all of, all of when we're racing, how we're racing, who we're racing, why we're racing, just keep followed up with Spider Run's channel. Also follow us on YouTube as well, just to see if you missed out on the highlights, you can see them in a better edited quality. And yeah, honestly, just if you guys need the bracket, need anything like that, it's always there. It's always going to be in the VOD now because, we've put it in the bracket. But yeah, anything else before we wrap it up?
I just want to say GG's to Spyron. Seeing Spyron come in, obviously, and just freaking take this game by storm has been so cool to watch. So you were a crazy good opponent, and out of everybody to drop down to the losers brackets too, I am perfectly okay with it being you.
I appreciate that. GG to you as well. Yeah, I came into this race very, very nervous, as probably you could tell by the first couple of levels. It was touch and go, but yeah, I appreciate the race. It was really, really fun. So thank you.
All right.
Alright.
Well, I think that should be it. Unless Chuck has anything to say, I think that should be it, right?
I think that's just about it. I don't think there's any more to say that hasn't been said already. Fantastic work to the runners as always. If you want to stay tuned in for any more of this fantastic content that we are seeing from these runners, be sure to subscribe or at least follow Spider Runs. Make sure you hit the bell so you can be notified the next time a race happens, because they are not happening at a regular intervals, so to speak. So you want to make sure that you are clued in on when the next race gets started. Uh, Past that, thank you everyone for joining us so much, and we'll see you for the next race.
All right. And we love you all. And peace out, guys.
Peace.